where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP Party Pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here from the beautiful Pocono Raceway. This is the SlingShot Sim Racing Series back in action here this evening as the NASCAR Cup cars on the racetrack ready to rock and roll and ready to go to battle here at the Tricky Triangle. As each and every one of these drivers loaded into the sim, they got a couple more minutes left here in their open qualifying session. So drivers are out there on the speedway, they're putting in their last little bit of lap time that they can. We looked at 17 drivers putting down a lap time, 4 drivers electing not to qualify here on the evening. So they'll start deep in the field here as we'll get ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go. Green flag racing is Ty Dickinson, my boy Sweet D, coming in showing the love with that heart reaction. Mama Bear Susie Dickinson coming in showing the love as well with that heart reaction. Ty says, I promise I'm faster than my time shows. I think I'll believe you on that one, Ty. I'll believe you on that one. Mama Bear says, hello, my boy. Hello, Mama Bear. Hello, how are you? How is your Wednesday going as these drivers get loaded into the sim down pit side? We'll get ready to set them loose. We'll get ready to go green flag racing here. We got 70 laps of action here from the beautiful Pocono Raceway. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot of laps, but trust me, this is a very, very big, very fast speedway, and a lot of crazy things can happen within that 70-lap time frame to really dice things up, mix things up, and make it difficult for drivers to maneuver through the field, maybe work themselves towards the front, or, trying to, hang on for their life out there, as some drivers could be sliding backwards in a quick hurry. As we saw Joe Hudson almost pick up the win yesterday in the 49 ride. He's looking to try to back that up here at Pocono as the 49 machine, that pink ride, will be starting in the pole position. So Joe Hudson starting in the pole here for this one, as it will be there in the front of the field in that 49 machine. To his outside will be the 93 ride. That is Zach Lockett starting in position number 2. He'll have Christopher DeWall there in 3rd. The 54 of Lane Phillips will be starting in the 4th position, with Joey Gattina in the 8th starting in position number 5. Greg O'Berry in the Liberty University 71 ride will be starting there in position number 6, with John McNeil there in that 7th position on the speedway. Starting in 8th will be the 02 of Shannon Wood. Then we see John Fowler and Christian Delgado rounding out our top 10 here to start this evening. Lucas Longmire will be starting back in the 12th position. He'll have the 75 of William McKellar to his inside. Then we see Doug Roth, Timothy Stubblefield, Stubbs Nation there in the 14th spot, with Rick Kennedy Jr. there in position number 15. Russell Martin Jr., Ty Dickinson, Jeremy Vaughn, James Smith, Leroy Koblenz, and Gary Wright bringing up the rear of the field. Unfortunately for Leroy and Gary, both not making the call here for the start of this feature event. So 19 drivers We'll see that green flag fly here for the first green flag of the evening. Unfortunately, looks like Leroy and Gary may have to start from pit side here on this evening as we'll get them ready to rock and roll. They're all lined up door to door. The lights are off, the official iRacing pace car, and we'll get ready to go green flag racing here from Pocono Raceway. As drivers loaded in and ready to rock and roll. As Ty says, you sound sick. You getting sick again? It's probably a possibility, Ty. It's probably a possibility. I did not feel very good today. I was working. I just did not feel very good. So I feel like I am getting sick again. I'm hoping I'm not. I'm hoping that I'm going to get over it. Maybe some good sleep tonight and it'll be gone. And we won't have to worry about getting sick again. As out in front, we see this start. The 49 of Joe Hudson trying to hang on to the lead as the 82 of Christopher DeWalt taking a look down to the inside here. Christopher DeWalt looking for a big one in corner number 1 as 93 Zach Lockett using the outside lane to perfection. Lockett is going to pull away here down the Long Pond straightaway down into this tunnel turn here in corner number 2 as this is only a the tricky triangle is there's only 3 corners here, 3 turns on the speedway. So there is no turn 4 out there on the racetrack. So they head down into corner number 3 for the first time here under power in this race. And out of corner number 3, down the front straightaway, the 93 ride of Zach Lockett will lead lap number 1. So Lockett out in front leads that first lap here this evening. Joe Hudson back there in second now as Lane Phillips taking the shot down to his inside. Phillips looking to try to jump up into position number 2 as Greg O'Berry right there in 4th. Christopher DeWalt back there in 5th. Shannon Wood in position number 6 with Joey Gattina. Christian Delgado, Lucas Longmire, Willie McKellar rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack. John McNeil already back 4 spots on the speedway here for the 48 ride. It's the McNeil Media. Boeing, number 48, slides back to position number 11. He's down 4 spots out there on the racetrack. John Fowler down 3 already in the JP Designs. Number 94 is the Dirty Monkey Motorsports ride, getting a little bit loose right there. Here comes Doug Roth in that Scary Strokes STP. Number 43 is Roth looking to work himself around that 94 of John Fowler as they see the 92 of Timothy Stubblefield right there behind him. A good run so far for Stubblefield there in the 14th position. Getting a good look at those two battling in front of him. He's now going to try to chase down that 94 of John Fowler as Russell Martin Jr., the Bug Crack Motorsports, and number 20 ride there in the 15th position, rounding out our top 15 here on the speedway. He's got that 4 of Rick Kennedy Jr. down to his inside as Kennedy looking to take that spot away from him, gets very loose there through that tunnel turn. Got a little tight wash on the racetrack then as he was getting back on the throttle. That car just shot right down the racetrack, and oh man, Russell Martin Jr. had to think fast there, be on his tippy toes as that 4 ride was struggling right there on front of his front bumper. James Smith back here in the 17th spot. You see the Old Bay number 10 ride there in 17th. Jeremy Vaughn right there behind him. The beautiful red, white, and blue number 2. That is Vaughn in the House of Speed NLR. Team Conti GG Papa Mike Promotions number 2 ride there in the 18th position. Ty Dickinson right there behind him in the all black number 67 ride. At the rear of the field in the 19th position, kind of just chilling back here. Cruising, letting in some laps there for that 67 ride as Leroy Copeland, Scary Wright still get to join this race as out in front. More of the same here as Zach Lockett leads the way. The Tennessee Titans 93 ride out in front of the field as Joe Hudson there in second, Lane Phillips there in third as these top 3 starting to split away from the rest of the field here and starting to open up quite a bit of a gap now between themselves and our 4th place driver, Shannon Wood, as Wood back here in position number 4 and looking for more in the gate. EKP Art, number 02 ride. We see Rango Berry right there behind him. Well, Berry jumped up a quick spot early in this race and inside the top 5 here, but he's had a lot of pressure there on his back bumper. Christopher DeWald and Christian Delgado right there behind him as see that 13 rider trying to keep on moving himself towards the front of the field here. Starting back in the 10th position, now up into 7th. And oh, hang on to it, Joey Gattina. Gonna go around hard up into the outside fence for the Budweiser. Number 8 rider, Joey Gattina, heavy hit right there. That number 8 machine, he's going to take his car right down pit side there. Heavy damage, tons of smoke rolling from underneath the hood here of that 8 machine. Let's take a look back and see what happened as that's the 75 of McKellar right there trying to peek down to his inside. Unfortunately, things just get a little bit too tight here at a quick curse. The 75 drives it in there quite a bit deeper. The 8 just unfortunately hanging on and going for the ride here as he gets the contact into that left rear quarter panel. He's going to get kind of sideways, then a little door slam, and sends him right up the racetrack, head on into that outside fence. And fortunately, just a ton of damage here for the 8 machine as we take it back a little bit farther. Let's see if we can jump on board here with the 8 machine and see what he can see here from the cockpit right on the helmet cam heading down into quarter number 3. Yeah, not much you can do right there except for just hang on and hope for the best there. And unfortunately for Gattina, nothing that he could really do. I mean, there's nothing that he could plan for on this contact, as right there is when it initially happens and it just kicks his car around and not much you can do to try to save it. Let's see if we can get another look at it here, a different angle. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer there as we'll watch these two come in as the 75 gets a big run. He gets a great run. McKellar in that fall out 75 ride gets a good run out of corner number 2. But just doesn't quite clear too much of the 8 ride, and there's that contact as they head down into corner number 3. Unfortunately, just gets into that left rear quarter panel of the 8 ride, kind of goes against that door panel as well, and then just shoves that front end viciously up into the outside fence. And maybe all she wrote there for the Camaro of Joey Gattina as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here as we did see a bunch of drivers head down pit side, make some pit stops here, make sure their cars are ready to keep on rocking and rolling, staying out of trouble, trying to make sure they got the tires and the fuel in their rides here at all times as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing in just a few more moments. The lights are still on the official iRacing base car, so that means we'll take a quick break here. We'll get a word in from our sponsors over at Scary Strokes.
Where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Roll your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Roll your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome.
Alrighty, as we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here at Pocono Raceway as the SlingShot Sim Racing Series, presented to you by Race City Racing Memorabilia, is about to get back underway. Already 8 laps into the history books here at Pocono, and we're going to get ready for our first race start of the evening. The same front row as we had on the drop of the green flag, as I see Nate Barzo coming in showing the love over there on YouTube. Says locked in, lock it, let's go, he says. Let's go, I like that. Locked in, lock it. Jimmy Phillips coming in with that like on the stream over on Facebook. Papa Mike coming in with that heart reaction and the share as well. Buttcrack Motorsports coming in with that share as well on the broadcast as we get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Zach Lockett out in front, sees the green flag fly. He's the fire car down through the Geico restart zone and gets a great launch down the front straightaway. See these drivers shuffling around, trying to find a run, trying to find a lane to open up a little bit of a gap to maybe trying to take a run inside of somebody, maybe try to make a big move to the outside as we see the 0-2 of Shannon Wood working to the outside groove now. All that number 49 of Joe Hudson. So Shannon Wood able to use that outside lane here to go door to door with the 49 as they head down through the tunnel turn here, the second corner on the speedway, and things got very tight there through quarter number 2, and they stay tight all the way down here into quarter number 3. Some great racing, and this is exactly what Zach Lockett wants to see back there behind him, as that's allowed him to open up over a second lead now as he heads back down across the start-finish line. A little bit of a slip up out of the 49 right as he gets loose there out of quarter number 3, and that allows the 0-2 of Shannon Wood to use all the momentum that he had built up to make the pass on that 49 ride. But Hudson gonna battle back strong here, a big run as the 0-2 washes up the racetrack. Hudson will jump back up into second as that 0-2 of Shannon Wood slides back to third, and he may be at risk of losing P3 here as now he's got Lane Phillips down to his inside. Lane's gonna slide up in front of him here, but washes up the speedway. Had to roll out of the throttle, gonna lose a ton of momentum there out of that 54 ride as he almost got into the outside fence right there in quarter number 2. He's able to collect it, but we do see the caution flag fly anyways as the yellow flag out into the air. Looks like Greg O'Barry running into issues there through quarter number 2 himself, and that will put us back under the caution flag here in this one as some tight racing back here. Drivers trying to go 3-4 wide. My gosh, 4 wide heading down into the tunnel turn, and it's going to get very interesting in a quick hurry. You do see the 4 wide has to back out of it, so they go 3 wide here into the tunnel turn. The 32 of Longmire down to the inside. Unfortunately, I think just too tight here through this tunnel turn. It's so easy to get aero tight and have to roll out of the throttle, and if you do, it doesn't take much for the driver behind you to make that contact, and I think that's exactly what we see right here. As we'll take a look and see the 32 run, just unfortunately, as he gets to that left rear quarter panel of the 71, it just gets him super tight. He's got to roll out of the throttle for Greg O'Barry, and as he does, it's just going to kick this car sideways as the 32 gets into him, and unfortunately going to help him go around as Greg O'Barry going to try to hang on to that run. Gets a little bit more contact there from Lucas Longmire as they bounce off of each other, and that's going to send the 71 up the racetrack here and right in front of James Smith. A good piece of driving here by everybody else to avoid the 71 ride as he gets a little bit of the outside fence there. Not heavy damage for any of the drivers collected, but definitely not the way they want things to go. Battling up inside the top. That's how quickly things can happen 2, 3, 4 wide here at Pocono Raceway, and unfortunately for Grango Berry, he finds out the hard way right there as he gets nosed into the outside fence and turns up a little bit of those tires as we'll get them all going down pit side here. We do see Joe Hudson down pit side, Christopher DeWald, Grango Berry, Rick Kennedy, Ty Dickinson, Jeremy Vaughn, James Smith, all headed down pit road here, getting some work done to their rides as you see a lot of drivers stay out. So Zach Lockett still rolling on the speedway. Shannon Wood there in second. Lane Phillips back in third. Then we see Doug Roth, John McNeil, Christian Delgado, Russell Martin Jr., Lucas Longmire in the 94, John Fowler. Then we see Timothy Stubblefield, Stubbs Nation back there in position number 9. And William McKellar rounding out our top 10 as Lucas Longmire is actually going to slide back here to the back of the field here. I'm not sure if he's going to take an EOL for the contact. Definitely has a little bit of right front damage on that 32. Not too much damage, but a little bit of right front damage there for the number 32 ride. Is the, I'm not sure what this is, Shore Road Seafood number 32 ride. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Hopefully that is the name that's on the front of that car, is the diner of the Shore Road Seafood. I'm hoping that's what that says. I'm hoping that's what that says. As we'll get them ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here as Zach Lockett continues to lead the way. Lockett out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one, as they'll get ready to go door to door and back to green flag racing. We may see more of that 2, 3, 4 wide battling out there on the racetrack, and drivers going door to door, beating and banging around Pocono Raceway. Here as the lights have turned off the official iRacing pace car, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. Once again, Zach Lockett going to choose the outside lane here for this restart, so he'll start to the outside on the front row. Shannon Wood will start down to his inside. Then we see the 54 of Lane Phillips there in fourth. Doug Roth going to restart here to his outside as the STP number 43 ride there in that fourth position. Then we see the 48 of John McNeil, Christian Delgado, John Fowler, Russell Martin Jr., William McKellar, Timothy Stubblefield, 82 of Christopher DeWald, our top 10 out there on the racetrack as we'll get ready to go green flag racing here once again. Joseph Brooks, my boy Joseph, coming in showing the love with the exclamation mark follow it. You're doing it the wrong way, Joe. You're doing it the wrong way, my brother. You gotta do exclamation mark followage. So it's let me see here, exclamation mark followage with no caps. Boom, just like that, how I typed it into the chat. You'll see it there in a second. It's Cody DeForge. Cody coming in showing the love with the like on the stream as well. Cody, we missed that Race City Racing memorabilia ride out there on the racetrack, brother. Where in the heck are you? Where are you? Get out here. It's unfortunate that we don't have Mr. DeForge out here on the speedway this evening. Only 19 drivers started this race, and by the looks of it, Ty Dickinson says computer crash coming out of the pits, and neat. Firing it back up. Oh no, Ty, brother. Yeah, Ty and Bryce, they cannot catch a break with those PCs. They are always running into issues as Ty Dickinson now just waiting to get that thing fired back up. Has to reload into the session and back into all of the fun here this evening as just a bit of caution, says Cody DeForge. Yeah, unfortunately, just a bit of caution, says my boy Joe coming in showing the big love. Says, I see you. I see you too, Joe. I see you too, Mr. Brooks, coming in showing the love here with the 825 days of being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Absolutely insane, brother. I appreciate you being a part of the Peacemaker family for over 800 mother fluffing days. It's absolutely insane, my boy. Absolutely insane as we go back to green flag racing out in front. Lockett locked in here at the front of the field. Shannon Wood there in second. Lane Phillips in position number 3. Doug Roth there in fourth. John McNeil back in the fifth position. Christian Delgado in that sixth spot is John Fowler, William McKellar, Timothy Stubblefield, and one of those drivers that just came down pit side, the 49 ride. of Joe Hudson back inside the top 10. So we'll have to wait and see if Hudson can work himself up through the traffic and back up towards our top 3 as we saw early in this race. Lockett, Phillips, and that number 49 of Joe Hudson were able to open up quite a bit of a gap here at the front of the field. And we saw that last week as the NASCAR trucks ran here as well. I do believe for our SlingShot Sim Racing Truck Series, we saw the 54 of Lane Phillips and the 49 of Joe Hudson kind of open up a big lead as well. I'm trying to remember who the third driver was in that truck race that really broke away with them. I feel like it was the 83 maybe, but Murray, but I'm not 100% sure. But I do know that that 49 ride and the 54 Lane Phillips were able to put themselves towards the front of the field and open up a big gap there with one of their other fellow competitors. And they were doing that early on in this race as well. So we'll have to wait and see if they can get lined back up together and back there at the front of the field and pull it away. It's Nate says, Lockett, please get the dub. Lockett for the W. He says, Lockett for the W. Right now, no one looking better than Zach Lockett as he's been the reflection of perfection here all evening long. He's led every single lap so far. That is 16 very long, fast laps. He's hanging on to it. Doug Groff going for a bit of a spin back here at a corner number 2. No caution flag as of yet as Doug Groff, luckily enough, able to catch that ride and doesn't look like got too much damage. It just gets loose right here as, oh no, the 54 of Lane Phillips getting very loose right in front of him. Look at this. Team Conti, House of Speed, NLR, Pop-Like Promotions, number 84 rides sideways here. Out at quarter number 2, washes up the racetrack, scrubs the outside fence, but that's right on the nose of that 43 of Doug Roth having to get checked up, having to smash the brakes himself, gets loose there out at quarter number 2. He shoots down the racetrack. Good piece of driving there for Doug Roth. The scary strokes, number 43, as he was able to keep that car pointed in the right direction and out of making contact with the inside wall or any of the fellow competitors that were zooming by him right there. And luckily enough, as he catches that ride, he's still rolling under the green flag here in the 12th position, but contact! Oh no! Oh, excuse me. Sorry, chat. I had to sneeze right there. I was saying, oh no, not because I had to sneeze, but oh no. We saw some contact and another caution flag here as two competitors come together. Looked like Lane Phillips and John McNeil coming together right here. Let's take a look at it and see what happened as Lane Phillips, we already saw very loose there the lap before when him and the 43 had their issues. And it looks like quarter number 2 might be the spot here once again. The 54 very slow coming out of the corner. I think maybe just trying to get his bearings back under him after almost losing it the last time through the tunnel turn. And then here in quarter number 3, it just looks like 48. I'm not sure if he just gets in there a little bit too hot, overdrives the corner and slides up over the nose of the 54 right here, Lane Phillips. And Phillips not giving up that spot, not wanting to put his foot off the throttle. But we'll take a look as he heads back into quarter number 2 here. Gives up a lot of time. Just looks like he was very cautious of not wanting to hit that outside wall. Lost a ton of momentum. And let's see if we can get a look here as 48 is going to send it into quarter number 1. 54 trying to come down into the second lane, and then the 48 kind of right there as they came into it, and they both just come together through quarter number 1. Unfortunately, the 48 goes up and around over the nose of the 54 Lane Phillips. Phillips getting quite a bit of damage from that. Also gets backed into the outside wall here himself. So damage on all 4 corners for the 48 and the 54 ride. Pretty heavy contact between the two of them as we'll take another look at it and see what happened here as these two just come together in corner number 3. And oh, this is some hard hits right here. Full speed. You can see the ferociousness of the contact between both drivers. We'll see if we can jump on board here with Lane Phillips in the 54 ride and see what he can see from the cockpit here of that 54 machine, as he's going to see the 48 make that move down to the inside, and just unfortunately they make that contact. Trying to turn left, unfortunately they come together, and heavy hits for both rides right there. Tough break for Phillips, tough break there for John McNeil, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Drivers getting ready to roll here once again. We did see a bunch of drivers come back down pit side that time around, as we did see quite a bit of these guys head down pit road. So Joe Hudson went down pit side. We saw Christian Delgado down there as well. Pretty much everybody coming down pit road here, and still out in front. We actually get a new race leader as the 75 ride. Willie McKellar will use the pit strategy here to put himself at the front of the field. Nate, Nat, I appreciate you. Bless you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that coming in with the bless you. I do appreciate that. I got a notification. You got a notification. Let's go. I like that, Momo Bear. Well, says Cody DeForge. Laugh loud. Racing happens. Racing does happen. I had to resubscribe to notifications. Yeah, sometimes that happens a lot, unfortunately. Facebook does that a lot of times. They will just randomly turn people's notifications off. We try to warn people every once in a while to make sure they type in the exclamation mark notify. It kind of refreshes it, but yeah, there's a lot of times where it turns them off. I don't know why Facebook does that. They just do that for some reason. As yeah, Joseph says, I second that. No live notification for me. Yeah, and that's what kills a lot of people on this on Facebook, and that's one of Facebook's biggest downfalls, is that they will automatically do that, and it sucks. I mean, over the summertime and everything else, I've seen, you know, the amount of viewers and everything have fallen, you know, insurmountably since the wintertime, which is normal to see because real life racing's going on. It's summertime, people are out doing stuff with their families, everything else, enjoying all the nice weather, compared to, you know, wintertime when people are stuck inside trying to stay warm and out of the cold for most of us up in Canada and, you know, the northern half of the U.S. But yeah, it's definitely, when you have, you know, real life that you have to deal with, that kind of, you know, mires back some of that stuff. But then there's the other stuff where Facebook really doesn't help people out a whole lot, and that's why they've pretty much lost all of their, you know, their main partners. You know, there's only a couple of them left that are actually partnered with Facebook anymore. All of them have canceled their partnership with Facebook because they're going to other places and streaming, or multi-streaming to other places. You look at Spartacus and Z-Laner and a lot of these other content creators that were, you know, pretty big over on Facebook have either left Facebook completely, or they, you know, they only come in multi-stream for a little bit on Facebook, but do most of their streaming on other platforms as well, which is it sucks to see. They used to do a lot of cool things. They used to help creators out a ton, and now they really don't do it anymore. They really don't do much for content creators on Facebook, and it's hurt a lot of people's pocketbooks and made things definitely tough for a lot of people to continue trying to stream or anything else. We go back to green flag racing. Billy McKellar using that fresh air to his advantage here as the 75 ride out in front, able to hold down this top spot. He's got Greg O'Berry back there behind him. Christopher DeWalt back in position number 3, and Joe Hudson looking down to his inside as Hudson looking to jump back into that third spot on the speedway. He will move around that 82 ride into position number 3 as Greg O'Berry looking underneath the 75 of Willie McKellar. McKellar goes up the racetrack there, high on the outside, but gets a good run down this front straightaway. The 71 will try to roll right in behind him there, get a little draft off the back bumper of the 75, but we do see the caution flag fly here once again, as unfortunately it's like Rick Kennedy Jr. gonna run into some issues here in the 4 ride. He's on the outside here of, that's Doug Roth, and the 94 ride of John Fowler. Now, I'm not sure if there was contact between any of these drivers or what might have happened with the 4 up on the high side. Unfortunately, looks like he's just going to get very loose right there. He gets super loose coming off of corner number 4. He goes right over the nose here of Doug Roth. Roth really just nowhere to go. He's just trying to hang on to that ride, and unfortunately gets the 4 going right over top of it. They both make pretty heavy contact with that inside wall. Heavy damage there for the number 4 machine, the American flag right there on the speedway, and pretty heavy damage there as well for Doug Roth as he went right down the racetrack with them. Let's see if we can jump back here and take a look on board with Mr. Roth and see what he can see coming out of corner number 3 and the action that comes right across his front nose. That 4 just gets loose here on the high side, and then bam, slides right over the nose, drags the 43 with them, and nothing that Doug Roth can do except for hang on and hope for the best there. And unfortunately, some pretty extensive damage there for that number 43 ride as he'll take it down pit side to get some repairs done to it as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing in just a little bit as yeah, Cody, yeah, Facebook is, yeah, it's definitely something. It's definitely something. Midnight stream, he says, midnight stream. Let's hope it's not a midnight stream. I'm hoping we can get out of here before midnight. Come on now. Come on now. I know the cautions here at Pocono, they are, they definitely take a while. Unfortunately, they take a very long time. The speed of the pace car is not very fast. Takes probably about, what, 2-3 minutes to do a lap under caution flag. You get a couple cautions in a row or you get a, you know, extended caution or anything else. It takes a lot of time to go from the yellow flag back to the green flag here at Pocono Speedway. But we'll have fun with it no matter what. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are tuning in and you haven't already, please make sure you do me a favor. Hit that like button on the broadcast. Hit that share and follow or subscribe button on the stream, and make sure you turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. That way you never miss any of the action. As Nat says, all my homies love Zach Lockett. I'm pretty sure Zach Lockett loves all your homies. No, I'm just kidding. Zach running very, very, very good right now in that Tennessee Titans number 93 ride. He's looking pretty good. He was very, very racy. We'll have to wait and see how he can work through some of this traffic as he tries to battle back towards the front of the field. This is where sometimes, you know, the fresh air can really help a car out. That track position can elevate you to a different level once you kind of get your car back into some dirty air, back into the middle of the field. You're kind of, you know, your car can handle completely differently, where you could have been the fastest car at the front of the pack, but now you're in the middle of the field and you just can't find that speed that you had with the track position. So we'll have to wait and see if Zach can bounce back and use that 93 ride to get back to the front of the field here in this one. Right now he's got Shannon Wood, Christian Delgado, Joe Hudson, Christopher DeWald, Greg O'Berry, and William McKellar here in front of them as we get ready to go back to green flag racing as the lights are off the official iRacing pace truck. Let's see, Ty says, Ty, why are you in the pits? I know, right? Where's Ty? Why is he still in the pits? He should be out there already. As Ty said, I must have wrecked when it crashed. I have 13 minutes of repairs. Oh, that would do it. That would do it, Ty. That would do it. As yeah, that 13 minutes of repairs definitely hurts quite a bit there. And obviously, I mean, that 13 minutes is almost over. That message was 12 minutes ago, so he's got to be out there on the speedway here very shortly, Mama Bear. As we do see in the back of the pack, it is the number 2 rider, Jeremy Vaughn. Back here we see Russell Martin Jr., Doug Roth rolling back out onto the speedway here as the 43 gets a moving. The 10 rider, James Smith, as well, trying to catch back up to the rear of the field. Rick Kennedy Jr. is off the racetrack, as well as I do believe we see Lane Phillips still down pit side. John McNeil down there as well. There's Ty Dickinson in that 67 ride, still down pit side. Joey Gattina, Leroy Koblenz, and Gary Wright also off the racetrack here as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. My boy, Joshua Neal. Josh coming in, showing the love. How are you, Mr. Neal? Mr. Neal coming in, showing the big love, smashing that thumbs up here on the broadcast as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Still a lot of racing left to go here as we'll see this green flag flying on lap 25 of 70. I mean, we still got 45 laps of racing action left ahead of us here, ladies and gentlemen, as the green flag back here in this one. As the green flag back and out as the 75 of William McKellar leading the way down to corner number 1. Here comes Christopher DeWalt, Greg O'Berry, door to door for position number 2 is Joe Hudson trying to work himself back a little bit of 3 wide. Here is the 71, gets loose and slowed down this long straightaway. Not sure what might have just happened for Greg O'Berry, but man, oh man, he fell like a rock down that long straightaway, and unfortunately now slid all the way back into the 8th position as tough right there for Russell Martin Jr. We saw him get up and scrub the outside fence there in corner number 2. The out in front leading the way is the Voltec number 75, the Fallout New Vegas machine of William McKellar, who leads the way. Christopher DeWald and the 49 of Joe Hudson side by side down the front straightaway. Here comes Shannon Wood as Wood has worked himself up into position number 4 and looking for more. Christian Delgado there in 5th, and Zach Luckett there in the 6th position. Greg O'Berry in 7th. With John Fowler back there in the 8th spot. Timothy Stubblefield there in 9th. Lucas Longmire back there in the 10th position. Doug Roth there in 11th. Jeremy Vaughn, Russell Martin Jr., our top 13 on the speedway. James Smith now down pit side. Rick Kennedy Jr. also down pit side. Lane Phillips rolling back out onto the racetrack here. Unfortunately, quite a few laps down here for Lane Phillips. We do see John McNeil still down pit road, and Ty Dickinson rolling back out onto the speedway as well in the 67 ride. So good to see Ty, good to see Lane rejoining the field here on the racetrack. A tough break for James Smith, who's down pit side as see all these drivers head back down and across the front straightaway here as out in front William McKellar leads the way. But look at this dogfight back here for position number 3 on the speedway. Shannon Wood looking to take it away from Christopher DeWald as the 75 trying to keep all these drivers back there behind him, trying to hope that they can't catch any draft off the back bumper of his 75 machine as they're reeling him in a quick hurry. And same with the 49 ride of Joe Hudson. Hudson has that 82 all over his back bumper as Wood there in 4th. We'll have to settle in as 13, Christian Delgado, Greg O'Berry back up into 6th here as Zach Lockett slides back to 7th as O'Berry gets into the outside fence there. It's going to kill a lot of his momentum down the front straightaway as O'Berry banked it off the outside wall there in corner number 3, and hopefully not too much damage for that Liberty University 71 ride. Seemed to have a very fast car, but he's made a couple mistakes here since that restart. And Zach Lockett will jump all over that, work himself right back around that 71 ride, and now he's looking to take this big run to the outside of Christian Delgado for position number 5. Delgado gets a little bit loose right there. Oh baby, things getting tight down through the tunnel turn, and Lockett able to make that pass back up inside the top 5 there, but without a scare. Man, that was a close one. I thought 13 maybe going up into that left rear quarter panel of the 93 as he's looking to get a couple big runs here down this front straightaway as you see the 71 again. Very loose there at a quarter number 4, but Zach Lockett coming alive. Is that 93 now working to the outside of the 0-2 is Shannon Wood. Wood will send it in down low on the bottom side here, a quarter number 1, but Zach Lockett is going to stick it in there and get a good run here. Oh, gets a little sideways, a little loose there. He's able to catch it, keep that car pointing in the right direction as he moves up into position number 4 here on the speedway. William McKellar, though, leads the way. He's got a couple car lengths between himself and Joe Hudson as Hudson trying to track him down. Look out! Christopher DeWalt, back up onto the speedway, collects his teammate. Caution flag on the speedway. Oh no, the Liberty University rides coming together. Unfortunately, looks like Lucas Longmire also collected in this one, as coming out of the tunnel turn, the rear end on the 82 ride just kicks out and around here, and unfortunately, as it does, he bounces down into the inside wall. Unfortunately, that car just comes right back up onto the speedways. You see him get very loose right there out of the tunnel turn. That car just unloads and rocket launchers down to the inside wall. Gets big contact there with that inside fence. You can see this car hopping and jumping there down the back straightaway, and then slides back up the speedway, collects his teammate in the 71. Looks like John Fowler going to get some damage there, as well as Greg O'Barry going for some loop-de-loops here. Looks like, oh man, some pretty heavy damage there for John Fowler. That is a heartbreaker there for the JB Designs ride, as you see the 32 sliding in here as well. Gets heavy damage into that 71, and that spins this Shore Road Seafood Camaro around and up the racetrack, hard into the outside fence. Heavy damage there for Lucas Longmire, as, man, that was a couple of heavy hits on the racetrack for Greg O'Barry, Christopher DeWald, and this 32, as, see if we can jump on board here with this 32 riding. So he's going to get a great look at this through the cockpit, as you'll see it happen in front of him. 82 is going to shoot down the racetrack right there, hard into the inside fence and then back up the racetrack. Now he just gets where to go and has to dive way down low to avoid him. Unfortunately, just could not get there. As another caution flag flies, a couple more drivers running into issues. We see some drivers headed down pit side looking to get some work done to their rides. As we're going to take a quick break, we'll get a word in here from our sponsors over at Scary Strokes.
Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond.
Alrighty, as these drivers headed down pit side, getting repairs going to work here on their race cars down pit road, as Greg O'Barry with heavy damage, Lucas Longmire as well, and Christopher DeWald, all looking to get their cars fixed back up and back out onto the racetrack. John McNeil hoping for the best here as well in the 48 ride, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Is out in front, the 75 ride of William McKellar. He leads the way here at Pocono Raceway at the tricky triangle, but now he has Zach Lockett down to his inside here for the restart. So Lockett will start in the inside lane here, but in that second position, the 75 McKellar is the control car here on the restart. So he will fire first down through the Geico restart zone, and then everyone else will be in tow. As the 0-2 is Shannon Wood rolls there in third, the 43 at Doug Roth. Looks like he's going to stay out there and in position number 3 on the speedway. Good to see Doug rebounding from getting collected not too long ago in a wreck himself. We see the House of Speed number 2 at Jeremy Vaughn now up inside the top 5 as Russell Martin Jr., Christian Delgado, Timothy Stubblefield, John Fowler, and Joe Hudson rounds out our top 10 on the racetrack. James Smith there is in 11th. He is a couple laps down there for that 10 ride as we quickly go back to green flag racing as McKellar gets a great launch here on the restart as we do see, unfortunately, Grango Berry, Christopher DeWald is back out there on the racetrack, but Grango Berry still down pit side here as he's going to come back down pit road for that 71 ride. The 32 of Lucas Longmire down pit road himself here still as we do see the 54 of Wayne Phillips, Sean McNeil back out there on the racetrack. We do see Ty Dickinson out there as well, or at least we did see Ty Dickinson out there for a little bit. I'm not sure what might have just happened to Ty once again here as the number 67 has disappeared from the race, so I'm not sure what happened to Ty, but out in front it is Willie McKellar leading the way here, but he's starting to feel a little bit of pressure as the STP number 43, the Scary Strokes rider, Doug Roth, is right there on his back bumper. Unfortunately, lost a bit of momentum down this front straightaway. Zach Lockett's going to look down to his inside, looking to try to jump back into position number 2. I feel like Lockett's got a very good long run ride, and if we can see this race go green flag for an extended period of time, we can see him running some pretty crazy laps. As Ty says, I got removed from the server. You got removed from the server. Ty, how in the world does that one happen, brother? How in the world did you get removed? I don't know, maybe too much contact, maybe too many X's, something like that. I don't know, but that's a tough break right there as Ty now out of the picture here in this one. The 71 ride of Grango Berry back out onto the speedway. He rolls around in the 13th position as Phillips still out there as well. McNeil has taken his ride back down pit side here. So McNeil down pit side. We don't have a whole lot of drivers left out there on the racetrack. We're rolling around with about, I do believe, 14 drivers, 13 drivers still on the speedway. And I do believe only our top 10 still on the lead lap. And our last driver on the lead lap is the 94 ride of John Fowler as he rolls in the 10th position. He has some pretty extensive front end damage here himself in that 94 ride after having contact early on here. He's had some pretty good damage to the front end of that 94. I think he's really struggling with the handling of that ride right now. He's got Joe Hudson there in front of him, Russell Martin Jr. there in the 8th position. Timothy Stubblefield, Subs Nation up into 7th with Jeremy Vaughn in the House of Speed NLR Papa Mike Promotions number 2 ride. There in position number 6, Christian Delgado there in 5th with Shannon Wood in 4th, the 43, Doug Roth there in 3rd, Zach Lockett in 2nd, and William McKellar out in front leading the way here. McKellar starting to open up a little bit of a gap here, about half a second between himself and that 93 of Zach Lockett. As Ty says, my car was broke and I was hoping to make some laps back and potentially gain some positions with others in the pits. Yeah, that's all you can really hope for. That's all you can hope for out there, after getting having issues early in a race, just kind of getting back out there, running some laps, maybe learning some things, filling that notebook full of, some information for the next time we run this racetrack. You can kind of have that knowledge to look back onto, what you were doing differently, different lines that you were running, or just trying to, figure out this tricky triangle a little bit more for, future help for yourself or for teammates or anything else. You kind of always want to have that extra knowledge. And the more lap time, the more seat time you can get behind the wheel and out there on the racetrack is the best way to learn. And right now we see a couple drivers that have learned exactly how to race this racetrack as William McKellar leads the way. You see Zach Lockett there in second, trying to close that gap on the 75 run. The 75 is snaking it down the Long Pond straightaway here as just snaking it, trying to keep the arrow off of the front nose of the 93 ride, trying to eliminate a little bit of the draft that he may get off the 75, which may close the gap between our race leaders. So that's why he's snaking it a little bit. You'll see it extremely down this front straightaway, such a long front straightaway, and you'll see him snaking it here, trying to keep that 93 ride from catching that little bit of draft. As you'll see our race leader, boom, there we go. He's going to go from the wall down to the inside wall, back up to the outside wall here for the corner in corner number 1. So you kind of just snake it through there and just trying to keep the air off of the car behind you. And right now, Zach Lockett, though, has been able to use that air to his advantage. Has closed the gap here. At that distance has closed, is now only a couple car lengths away from our race leader, Zach Lockett, there in second, looking to take this race lead back away. Shannon Wood there in position, number 3. Christian Delgado there in 4th. Doug Roth back in the 5th position as Doug has lost the handle of that car a couple times, especially through corner number 2. In corner number 3, we've seen this 43 get very, very loose, kick that rear end out, and he's been hanging on to it, trying to keep it out of trouble, and he's unfortunately lost a couple more spots here as Shannon Wood and Christian Delgado both were able to work themselves around him. It's Timothy Stubblefield, Subs Nation, now up into 6th as Jeremy Vaughn slides back to 7th. Joe Hudson there in the 8th position with Russell Martin Jr. there in 9th. John Fowler out there in the 10th spot as Christopher DeWald still rolling out there in 11th now. James Smith there in 12th. Greg O'Berry still rolling out there on the speedway as well. Lane Phillips still rolling as well in the 54 ride as Lucas Longmire was back out onto the speedway, but you just take that 32 back down pit side, so a tough break there for the 32. You see the Boeing McNeil Media number 48 ride at John McNeil. He's still out there on the racetrack looking to just run those laps and get some more experience, learn some things here, keep that Boeing 48 ride out of trouble, and looking to just kind of keep himself out here having some fun. As we do see green flag pit stop here, William McKellar headed down pit side. So William McKellar coming down pit road here. That's a very interesting one with 30 laps left of racing action. Green flag pit stop here for the 75 ride with all those caution flags. You don't think you'd see green flag pit stops here at Pocono, and that may cost him right there. Overshoots that pit stop, has to throw it in reverse and back it up right there. Just that couple seconds. A little bit of mistake may be enough to really hurt this 75 ride on the speedway as Cody says Doug is having brake pedal issues. Oh no. My boy Tommy Bush. Tommy coming in, showing the love. What's good, Tommy? Tommy coming in, smashing that thumbs up on the broadcast. How are you, brother? Coming in, showing the love here in this one. And Ty says, respect to race control and admins. That was removed by mistake. Shouldn't happened, but they apologized. Listen, hey, you know what? That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. An apology. People make mistakes. Things happen. It is what it is. It does happen, and unfortunately, happened to yourself here tonight, Ty. That's a tough break, but it happens. We'll take a look here. We see the caution flag coming back out as it's like Lane Phillips going to run into some issues here again in the House of Speed, Bob Mike Promotions, NLR Team Conti Sim Performance 54 ride. Oh, heavy hit right there for that 54 ride of Lane Phillips. Wowzers. That was a big hit here out of corner number 3. That car rocket launchered into that outside fence, gets loose, and just shoots up the racetrack. And oh, man, that was a heavy, heavy hit there for Lane Phillips. And that car is absolutely destroyed. See if we can take another look here. Oh, man, that is a heartbreaker right there. You just unfortunately just goes around here. That rear end steps out. He's trying to correct it as he's counter steering. The car just hooks up the racetrack and into the outside fence. And oh, man, that is a hard hit right there for Lane Phillips. See if we can get another look at it here as we'll jump right on board with him and take a look as play back here a little bit and see down through corner 3 and what he's dealing with as riding right behind Joe Hudson, and his rear end gonna kick out right there. You see him counter steer it, and then all of a sudden it just snaps up into the outside fence. The motor expires. That car is absolutely destroyed, and that is a heartbreaker for Lane Phillips as he has that car off the speedway now. As we did see Jeremy Vaughn down pit side there as well. Vaughn was coming down pit road as that caution flag was coming out, so I'm not sure if the yellow was out before he got down pit road. Were they closed or were they open? This is going to be a big question as pit lane was still open here. I don't see any of the lights on or any of the pit road lights here on this racetrack. That would be a big question, as it'd be very interesting to see. The caution lights are on right there before he gets down pit lane. So unfortunately for the number 2 ride, what could have been a perfect timing for that pit stop, he may be starting at the rear of the field for coming down early. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but possibly just that little bit shy of putting himself into a good position here for that 2 ride. Jeremy Vaughn, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. We do see the drivers coming down pit side. We do see Joe Hudson down pit road. We see Zach Lockett down there, as well as Shannon Wood, John Fowler, Doug Roth, the 13 of Christian Delgado. They're all down pit side as we'll take a look and see. Looks like Zach Lockett was blinking right there. I don't know where Zach Lockett has disappeared to, but Joe Hudson coming out. Looks like he is going to be in position number 4 here on the restart. I'm actually not sure what happened to Lockett. Zach Lockett may have lost connection here himself. Oh gosh, this is not good. It's not good. We're losing drivers like crazy, ladies and gentlemen. See John Fowler down pit side here for an extended period of time. He's looking to get that 94 ride fixed up and repaired. Looking for more repairs here on the 82 of Christopher DeWald as well. Greg O'Barry's car looking pretty good. Fixed back up here for the 71 as he keeps on rolling. But James Smith, unfortunately, he's down pit side getting more repairs done here, as well as we do see a crash here for Zach Lockett. I think Zach Lockett may have lost connection here, ladies and gentlemen, and that is a heartbreaker for a driver that was possibly bound for victory lane here in this race. We saw him lead a lot of laps early in this race. Looked very, very good, looked very strong, and unfortunately, just this car is non-existent on the speedway right now, and he's actually kind of, I don't even know where he's gone to now. He's just off the racetrack. I see the name on the leaderboard bouncing around here or there, but I don't think he's back with us yet. I don't know what's happened to poor Zach Lockett, but I think his internet connection may have dropped out on him here, or his PC or something. Not good for Lockett here in this one. Man, he was having such a great race, such a good, solid run and performance here throughout the evening. And now with just this issue, it's going to make it very, very tough for him. It's going to suck for us as well, as we're getting limited here on race cars, but we should see some good green flag laps as out in front, leading the way. It is the number 75. It's actually the 92 of Timothy Stubblefield, who's out in front. McKellar there in second. Joe Hudson there in third, with Shannon Wood in fourth now. Christian Delgado in position number 5. Russell Martin Jr. there in the 6th position. Doug Roth in 7th, with Jeremy Vaughn in position number 8. And then it shows Zach Lockett in the 9th spot on the speedway. Now it shows John Fowler is around him or not around him there for position number 9. We see the 11th place drivers Christopher DeWald, Greg O'Berry there in 12th, James Smith in 13th, and then John McNeil there in the 14th position. Lane Phillips, who's now down pit side off the racetrack, in 15th here, as I do believe our top 14 are the only drivers left on the speedway here. Yes, I do believe Lane Phillips, Lucas Longmire, Rick Kennedy, Ty Dickinson, Joey Katina, Leroy Koblenz, and Gary Wright all off the racetrack here. Only 14 drivers left out there on the speedways. We do see Zach Lockett back on the racetrack. So good to see Zach Lockett at least back out there. I'm not sure exactly what happened to Lockett there, as he was blinking heavily for an extended period of time in that 93 ride, but he's still on the lead lap. Well, he's shown all the way back here at the rear of the field in position number 11, but looks like everything is back up and going for him as the 48 rider John McNeil gonna go around right there. No caution flag, so no caution flag on the speedways at the back of the pack. No one there in imminent danger is out in front. Timothy Stubblefield leads the way, but Stubbs has to get out of the throttle there to avoid contact with the outside wall, and William McKellar will take that into his advantage. He's looking to jump back into this top spot here on the racetrack. So William McKellar to the point here, the 75 back to the race lead, as here comes Joe Hudson there in second, the 0-2 of Shannon Wood in position number 3, Timothy Stubblefield sliding backwards here, unfortunately, for the Stubbs and Nation. 92 riders, he's now all the way back into the 5th spot as Christian Delgado works down to the inside here of Shannon Wood for position number 3. Doug Roth closing the gap here, getting underneath the 92 of Timothy Stubblefield down the Long Pond back straightaway here as John Fowler, Russell Martin Jr. there in 7th and 8th on the racetrack. Jeremy Vaughn there in 9th. Zach Lockett up inside the top 10 here in the 93 ride, as I think he's still probably questioning his internet connection or what might have just happened there for the 493 ride, but I do believe he is still in the lead lap. Car doesn't look like it's got any damage or anything, so could be a bit of a blessing here. Just unfortunately just lost a lot of track position for that number 93 right now. He's got a bunch of lap down traffic he's got to work with to try to get through here to his next driver on the lead lap, as the 2-rider Jeremy Vaughn, the next car there in 9th, with John Fowler right there with him. Fowler still has pretty heavy front end damage for that 94 ride. Is Long going to take a look here once again down to his inside. Greg O'Berry right there, as well as the 93 of Lockett and the 10 of James Smith is out in front. We see a pass for the lead here as the 49 rider Joe Hudson is able to jump up and take this race lead away from William McKellar. McKellar now sliding backwards here himself. The 75 was down pit side not too long ago. He should have fairly fresh equipment here for McKellar, but now as he slides backwards, it gives the race lead to that 49 ride of Joe Hudson. So Hudson leads the way with Shannon Wood there in position number 2. Christian Delgado up into 3rd. Here comes Doug Roth now looking for position number 4 as he works to the inside of that 75 ride, gets a little loose there. Out of corner number 1, though, loses that momentum down the straightaway, and that will hold him back in that 5th position as Timothy Stubblefield slid backwards there, now into the 6th spot on the speedway. Russell Martin Jr. there in 7th. Jeremy Vaughn and Zach Lockett up into 9th. That's John Fowler rounding out our top 10. Christopher DeWald, our 11th place driver on the speedway, is our final driver on the lead lap. Greg O'Berry is the first car a lap down out there on the racetrack in the 12th position. James Smith also a lap or multiple laps down here, and he's got heavy damage again on this 10 machine. I'm not sure what happened to him, but looked like he has gotten back up into a wall here as that left front tire is not rotating at all. It's not turning an inch on the speedway. It looks like he's going to have to bring that Baltimore Orioles Old Bay number 10 ride back down pit side here, so a tough break for that 10 Machina Smith as he heads back down pit lane and has extensive damage to repair here once again. John McNeil back out there in the 14th spot as Lane Phillips rounds out our top 15. Lane is the 15th place driver, but he is the first driver off of the speedway here on the time charts here. He's in 15th and off the racetrack and down behind pit wall. Same with Longmire, Kennedy Jr., Dickinson, Gattina, Koblenz, and Wright here on the evening as started loading in here with 21 drivers. 19 drivers took the green flag, and we're rolling out there right now with about 13 or 14 drivers still in attendance. So drivers out of this race, and we're not done racing though, as we still got a lot of action here ahead of us. Is out in front, Joe Hudson leads the way, but Shannon Wood there in second. Christian Delgado in position number 3. Willie McKellar back there in position number 4. And looking for more here once again in the fall out number 75 ride. You see that STP. Scary Strokes number 43 of Doug Roth rounding out our top 5. Stubblefield, Russell Martin Jr., Zach Lockett, Jeremy Vaughn, John Fowler, Christopher DeWald, and Greg O'Berry, our top 12 here on the Speedway, as we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. session. That is the battle for the win here this evening. The battle for the race lead has only 12 more laps left to go. 11 the next time by the start-finish line. It is that pink ride of Joe Hudson, who is out in front, leading the way here down across the Pocono Raceway start-finish line. Hudson out in front, showing them how to get it done here in this one as the BKP Art Machine of Shannon Wood right there in position number 2, keeping them honest, not letting them completely run away with this, as the gap is about 0.4 of a second between our race leader and our second place driver. Then a great battle that's been brewing here throughout this. A little bit of a good green flag run here as Christian Delgado, Willie McKellar, Doug Roth. That is our 3rd, 4th, and 5th place drivers battling here on the speedway. They've been battling pretty tough here for multiple laps, as there you see the 75 of McKellar get very tight, washed up to the outside fence, made some contact there with that outside wall. The 43 had to roll out of the throttle to help avoid contact with the 75. You see the 75 shaking there, getting loose again on corner exit as he'll lose a lot of momentum down this front straightaway. That will allow Doug Roth to jump up into position number 4 as he sees slowly but surely Zach Lockett's worked himself back inside the top 6 here. Unfortunately, he has been a big distance back here behind our race leaders in the rest of our top 5 here. He's about 4 seconds back of Willie McKellar, Doug Roth, and Christian Delgado, and then about 7 seconds back here now of our race leader Joe Hudson. So Zach Lockett would love to see a caution flag right now. I'm sure everyone that's inside the top 5 would not like to see a caution flag, except for maybe Christian Delgado. He may think he has a car here to maybe compete and battle for the win. And I mean, Doug Roth has been very fast. We saw McKellar lead a lot of laps as well, so they may be wanting a yellow flag again as well. Maybe another opportunity to try to go after the 49 ride of Joe Hudson, as Hudson's rolling up onto the lap traffic there of John McNeil. McNeil gonna go another lap down there on the speedway as Hudson out in front, Wood in second, Christian Delgado, Doug Roth, Willie McKellar, our top 5 here on the speedway. Zach Lockett in the Tennessee Titans Camaro, they're in position number 6 with Jeremy Vaughn in the House of Speed, Heartland Harley Davidson, Grip Hackney Live number 2 right there in 7. We see the Buckcrack Motorsports at number 20, Russell Martin Jr. rolling there in the 8th position. Timothy Stubblefield back in the 9th spot on the speedway. John Fowler rounding out our top 10 in the JB Designs 94 ride. The Scary Strokes, Dirty Monkey Motorsports Toyota there in position number 10. Then we see Greg O'Berry still rolling out there on the speedway, currently in the 11th position. He is unfortunately a lap down right now, so he is hoping for a caution flag himself and possibly a wave around to maybe get back onto the lead lap, as I do believe he's only 1 lap down. Yeah, it's only 1 lap down for that number 71 ride. Then we saw Christopher DeWall go back down pit side. McNeil down 13 spots on the, or 13 laps on the racetrack here, so Nat Barzo says, I'm depressed right now. Oh no. Nate, don't say that, brother. I know, don't say that. Come on now. Be happy. Hey, he's still in it. He's still racing. You can still see him out there on the speedway, and it's not over until it's over. So never count Zach Lockett, never count any of these drivers that we see a late race caution flag, cautions, precautions, and opportunities can open in a quick hurry where could potentially see any of these top 10 end up in victory lane before the end of the evening. But right now, things gonna spread out. Everyone run a little bit of single file out there on the speedway. Joe Hudson continues to lead the way here. Shannon Wood there in second, Delgado in third, Doug Roth in fourth. Willie McKellar, our top 5 here, is a gap back now of 5 seconds here between our 5th place driver and our 6th place driver of Zach Lockett's. A Lockett 5 seconds back now of our top 5, 7.5 seconds back of our race leader. We definitely need that yellow flag to catch back up to the front of the field. Russell Martin there in 7th as Jeremy Vaughn, reeling him in here a little bit, so Vaughn may try to jump up here and get around Russell Martin Jr. for P7 before the end of this race, but if the Stubblefield quite a ways back behind those two. They're in 9th. John Fowler quite a ways behind him. They're in 10th. And Greg O'Berry just hoping to get that yellow flag and back onto the lead lap as the laps are clicking down here at Pocono Raceway. The tricky triangle grew very tricky early on in this race. We saw a lot of drivers run into some issues, a few caution flags, a bunch of tore up race cars. And some of them have continued to keep on racing. Some of them have ran into multiple issues and ran into more troubles on the speedway. But we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. It's the next time by the start-finish line. We will see the high five from our flagman, and 5 more laps left to go for the Vagisil number 49 ride of Joe Hudson, as Hudson leads the way here down across the line. Here comes the high five here from our flagman. 5 more laps here from Pocono Raceway in the SlingShot Sim Racing Series, presented to you by Race City Racing memorabilia, Buckrack Motorsports, Dirty Monkey Motorsports, Anything EC, Papa Mike Promotions, and all of our other very amazing sponsors here, Scary Strokes, and we've seen the commercial for, and everyone else that comes in and makes this series possible. Huge shout to every single driver coming in, continuously showing the love, showing the support here with the series, continuing to race and continue to put on a great show for us week in and week out, as this one coming to a close, another one for the record books here, as the 49 ride looking to pick up his second checkered flag here of the season. I believe we saw the 49 of Hudson pick up the win. If I'm mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe we saw Hudson pick up the win at Dover not too long ago, a few weeks ago there, probably about a couple months ago actually now, as I do believe the 49 ride of Joe Hudson was the winner at Dover, and now looking for win number 2 here on the season. Shan would love to take a checkered flag as well, as we'll wait and see how this is all going to play out, as he's got himself about half a second lead now between himself and Shannon Wood. Wood also found victory lane a couple weeks ago as well, so Wood has gotten a win here himself. We've seen Sean Jessic pick up a few wins, Sean Ross with a win, Christopher DeWall, and yeah, we did see Joe Hudson get the win at Dover. So very interesting here, as we saw Greg O'Berry early in the season picking up a lot of wins here and put himself into victory lane quite often to start the series. We saw Jackson Carr pick up the win as well in our series opener, and we saw everyone else having some great runs and great drives here throughout some of these races. We saw Michael Madden picking up wins, Steve Hackney when he was in the lead picking up a couple wins. We saw Adam Pettit now with a few wins on the season. Sean Jessic with a few. We've seen Wood now, Adam Pettit now with a couple wins. Joe Hudson now looking to get a multi-win season on the go here as well. So it's going to come down to these closing laps. Joe Hudson leading the way here down across the line. 2 more laps left to go here from Pocono Speedway, as out in front, the 49 continuing to show how to get it done. And Shannon Wood there in second, but a second back here. From Wood, we see that 13 machine of Christian Delgado in third. Billy McKellar there in position number 4. Then Doug Roth back in the 5th spot on the speedway, as the Scary Strokes STP number 43 rolling there in that 5th position. Zach Lockett a little ways back there in position number 6. Jeremy Vaughn back up into 7th here as he's worked himself back around the 20 ride. The Buckrack Motorsports machine of Russell Martin Jr. Timothy Stubblefield there in 9th with John Fowler there in position number 10. He's the last car on the lead lap, rolling there in the 10th position. Greg O'Berry back in the 11th spot, still rolling out there on the speedway. He is unfortunately a lap down out there on the racetrack as we do see the white flag fly. So one more time around here for Joe Hudson at Pocono Raceway. The Tricky Triangles put on a great show for us here all evening long. It is going to come down to these final couple of corners. We see the 43 of Doug Roth back there in fifth. He gets up into the outside fence. Joe Hudson, though, looking for a picture clean lap here, hoping to not make any mistakes and keep that 0-2. Shannon Wood back there behind him is down through the tunnel turn. He gets a great run there, opens up a little bit more of a gap between himself and Wood as for the final time. And the corner number 3 here at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle is gonna be won here this evening by the 49 of Joe Hudson. As Hudson down across the line, he will see that checker flag fly as he picks up the win, and he is the man here this evening as he's able to get it done and pick up this win here in the SlingShot Sim Racing Series, presented to you by Race City Racing Memorabilia. As Hudson gets it done and pulls up into victory lane, we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up into the broadcast booth. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Joe Hudson as he gets the win here in this one. Shannon Wood coming home in second as Christian Delgado going to come home in position number 3. Willie McKellar there in 4th, and Doug Roth rounding out our top 5. Zach Lockett back in 6th with Jeremy Vaughn in 7th. Russell Martin Jr. back in 8th. Timothy Stubblefield and John Fowler rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. But it's all Joe Hudson here this evening as he pulls that number 49 up to the front straightaway. He's going to get ready to burn down the house after picking up a very good win here on the evening. Came so close to getting the win last night in the Truck Series. He's going to get her here tonight in the Cup Series as he wins the GoBowling.com race here at Pocono Raceway, the Tricky Triangle winner, Mr. Joe Hudson. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up here for Big Joe as he gets it done, gets that win, and pulls himself up into victory lane. We'll get ready to pull him up into the broadcast booth here for his post-race interviews. Wowzers, what a run, what a drive, what a performance here between himself and all of these drivers here in the field, man. They put on a great race for us. We saw a lot of heavy hits, a lot of contact. We saw some 3-4 wide battling out there on the speedway, and we saw unfortunate breaks for some of the drivers here in the field. Some drivers that were looking to have a great day at the racetrack. Things go astray for them, and them end up deep in the field and not where they want to be, but I'm sure for Joe Hudson, this is right where he wants to be. That's up in victory lane as we get ready to pull him up into the broadcast booth. See here, they moved everything around here. There we go. Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our race winner, Joe Hudson. Hey, Joe, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Yes, sir, Aaron. How are you this evening?
Not too bad, Joe. We talked last night. You were so close to getting the win. You couldn't pull it off yesterday, but you got the job done here tonight as you pull the 49 right up into the Pocono Raceway victory lane, man. Take us back through this race and how you got it done as you parked that 49 right here in victory lane.
Just got lucky there. Every time we try a little strategy play by pitting, we hope for no more cautions, and it never seemed to work out. But there at the end, we got back even with everybody on tires, and just thought we could roll on out there. But my teammate Shannon Wood there, he kept the pressure on. Every time I thought we had it whipped, he'd come charging back up on me. So we had to stay after it. But it's always fun to win. I don't remember what happened last night. I've put that behind me, but a win tonight is great.
Absolutely, that's the mentality I think every driver has to have. A bit of a goldfish mind, as soon as you click out of that race, it's over with, it's gone with. Whether it ended up in the right way or the wrong way, you just take your learning experiences with you. Leave anything, the contact or controversy or anything else back there behind you, and focus on the next race. And that's exactly what you did here this evening. Not making any mistakes, not really making too many mistakes, at least out there on the speedway. We saw you get slideways there a few times through the corners here, trying to keep that 49 right underneath of you, and you were able to do a great job of it here on that final run as we finally see a good green flag run here after, what seemed to be not quite an abundance of caution flags, but the caution flags here are fairly tedious at Pocono. A very slow pace around this racetrack. It's such a long, big racetrack that, it takes a long time to run, 2, 3, 4, 5 caution laps in it, especially when you get caution flag after caution flag like we did towards the start of this race. Can really, deteriorate, a driver's, momentum, or, really deteriorate, mental focus and everything else. So, how did you keep yourself focused throughout this race, just knowing that you had to be here at the end to pick up the win?
It was a unique track. I mean, you have to keep your momentum going, and if you mess up a corner, it's a long ways to the next corner, and the time is just going the wrong direction. So, uh, for me personally, I just try to race the track and hit my point, hit my marks. It's very easy to overdrive the corners here, and I think that's what causes a lot of the cautions. These guys, bounce off the wall, and then you got somebody under you. There's not a lot of room, but if you just race the track and try to hit the marks, you can keep the car up under you. And uh, got a lot of help from my teammates and Ryco Performance with the setups. Even though we're running fixed, they provide a lot of help with tutorials on driving line and brakes and master cylinders and all that good stuff that makes a difference.
Absolutely. Well, Joe, you're able to figure out the tricky triangle here this evening and pull yourself up into victory lane here in the SlingShot Sim Racing Series for the second time here this season. Joe, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Uh, again, John and Ronald, all the admins here at SlingShot, they got a great league. They keep it well run, not a lot of drama, which at 59 years old, like I am, I just do this for fun. And we don't have a lot of drama in this league. They do real good job policing the rules, keeping everything consistent. And, that's all you can ask for. Makes it really fun. I go back and watch the broadcast the next day. You do an awesome job broadcasting, especially as a lone wolf there. And my teammates at Hammer Time, and my smoking hot wife and children that let me come down here every night for 2 or 3 hours and escape reality.
Absolutely. Always got to thank that family as they always allow you to, take that time away from, doing, family things that you could be doing, whether it's sitting on the back deck having a beer, or, going out, enjoying the beach or a sunset or anything else. It takes a lot of time and a lot of practice and commitment to be able to, run a lot of these leagues. And we appreciate you and all the drivers showing up week in and week out, putting on shows for us and being a part of this league and making every single night just that much more fun, that much more memorable. If we had 7 cars every single night, it wouldn't be very fun. We probably wouldn't be broadcasting it, but when we see, 20, 30 drivers come out there and have a good time and enjoy, racing against each other, and obviously it takes a lot of toll from family, being able to escape from doing other things to be able to come on here. So huge shout out to them, huge shout out to all you drivers for coming in and showing the love each and every single race, and a huge congratulations to yourself, Joe, as you're able to pick up another win, your second win here of the season, and pulling that 49 right up into victory lane. Do we see a little bit of a run coming from you now with some momentum being built? We see you get some good finishes now. We saw a great finish for you last night in the Truck Series, and now a win here this evening. Maybe getting a little bit of a run, a little bit of a hot shoe under you here late in, through the middle of the summer.
Isn't that the way it goes? Next week, my youngest daughter has a travel ball tournament down in Gulf Shores, so I won't be able to get on at all for 5 days. So at least I can relax and go out a winter for the next week.
There you go. No better way than to go out for a week as on top, and knowing that when you come back, you'll be a race winner or previous race winner from the last time you were on the speedway, and that means we'll have two of them in 2 weeks from now. So that'll be fun to see you and whoever next week's race winner is. Will be able to pull up into victory lane. But Joe, a great run, a great drive here this evening. Congratulations on the win, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack here in a couple weeks.
Always, it's fun. Thank you again. And thanks to SlingShot.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy your time away from the sim and enjoy your time with the family.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, giving up there for our race a winner, Joe Hudson, as Joe picks up the win and pulls the 49 ride up into victory lane. We're going to pull our second place finisher in here right now as Shannon Wood coming home in second. We'll pull Shannon up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Shannon, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Think of copy?
Yes, sir.
Shannon, a great run, a strong performance again here for that 0-2 machine. Almost so close to picking up your second checkered flag here of the season. Unfortunately, your teammate Joe Hudson able to one-up you here in this one, but you kept him honest out there on the speedway. Didn't let him run away with it. Stayed right there within striking distance here in these closing laps. And during that, finally a long green flag run there late in this race to make sure that if he made a mistake, if he slipped up or anything else, he'd be right there ready to pounce and ready to take this win away from the 49.
Yeah, that's funny you say that. We got to going pretty good there. And he's like, "Hey, back off a little bit, man. We're going to burn our stuff up." And I said, I can't. They coming behind me, man. We got to go.
Absolutely. You try to back it up or anything else, and one of these other amazing drivers in the series will take advantage of it in a quick hurry. And Pocono being one of those tracks that you really can't take it easy out here. So much momentum has to be built up and carrying all that speed down these straightaways where you roll out that throttle just a little bit, you can lose, half a second on the speedway in a quick hurry.
Yeah, I was pretty much in my rhythm there following Joe. And just like you said, you gotta pretty much race the track, hit your marks every time. It's when somebody gets outside or inside of you, man, it's just so hard to try to keep your rhythm going and try to stay in line. So I pretty much told Joe, I said, just stay in line, man. We got it.
Absolutely. Well, you guys pull it up here, 1 and 2 at Pocono Raceway, the tricky triangle. A great run and a great performance here from yourself, Shannon. Who would you like to thank for such a great run here tonight?
Got to thank BKP Art as always. All the admins here, they run a great series here. And last but not least, man, Peacemaker Gaming, you the man, buddy.
I appreciate that, my boy Shannon. Congratulations on the great run. A solid performance here in that 0-2 ride. Hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth next week. Joe just told us that he's going to be away from this from iRacing next week, so maybe opening up the door here for yourself and maybe putting that 0-2 ride back up into victory lane yourself.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I hate to hear he's not going to be here. He helps me out a lot there. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see if we can get her done.
Absolutely, brother. We look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack. Enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, thanks, man. You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for the 0-2 as Shannon Wood as Wood comes home in position number 2. We'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher now, the 13 machine of Christian Delgado. Delgado coming home in third. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Christian, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Aaron.
Christian, man, another good run, another solid race here. The tricky triangle, such a tough racetrack to really trying to find speed throughout these long runs, trying to find ways to pass drivers. As soon as you poke your nose to the high side or underneath somebody, it's very easy to have to roll out of the throttle, lose that momentum here. As we saw a lot of drivers around you here in this one, we saw a lot of battling there throughout that long green flag run. We saw Wood in there for a little bit, but then he started to pull away, and we saw you, McKellar, Doug Roth, all right there. Could throw a blanket over you guys for a lot of laps here in this one. Unfortunately, as you guys duked it out there for quite a little while, it just allowed Hudson and Wood to pull away from you there a little bit late in this race where you just didn't have enough time to try to reel those guys in.
Yeah, and you put it to a T there, but that's why I love Pocono. It's just so racy. The track is so wide that, especially I think in the one, it's probably the most raciest corners because you can go up there, rip the wall, and get a good run off, and kind of force the guy on the bottom to back out, or you can kind of run the bottom the shorter way around the track and kind of slide job someone up there. But yeah, a lot of fun there, and yeah, you put it to a T. I mean, me and William kind of duked it out for a little bit, allowed Doug to get up there. And yeah, I was really just trying to save my tires. I wasn't really slower, but I was trying to save my stuff for until like 10 to go, and I was going to really try to push. And unfortunately, doing that, it allowed the 75 and the 43 to get up to me and kind of race me. So I had to kind of start using my stuff up a little bit more than I wanted to. And got around them, but then, like you said, not enough time. But really wish it would have stayed green after that lap 30 because me and I think Joe had pitted and we were good on fuel. So, and at the time I was ahead of Joe, and I knew everybody else had to pit for fuel. So I was hoping it would have stayed green there, and we would have had a shot to maybe win the race on strategy there. But as we saw our race, Pocono is a very tricky track. You can overstep the car just a little tiny bit and end up wrecking yourself or taking out someone else. And yeah, just fortunately didn't go green like we wanted to, but I think we showed a lot of pace here. I think we're up in the top 5 almost all race, but can't complain about a P3. I know Greg didn't have the best points day, so it will help extend that points lead, being the points leader. But yeah, can't complain about that. But yeah, P3. Wish we would have had a little bit more time to go get him because I think we had a car to go up there and race with them, but just not enough time.
Absolutely not enough time, but still a very solid run and a very solid performance here for you as you park it up on the podium. You gain those precious points here as the regular season slowly but surely comes to a close, and playoffs right around the corner, and being that top car for the regular season points, earning those extra playoff points come to that first round, second round, third round of the playoffs. I'm pretty sure, what is it, 15 points for that regular season points championship. That is a lot of positions on the speedway that can help you advance through round after round after round and potentially put yourself into an opportunity for the championship here at Phoenix.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great point. 15 points is a make or break if we can keep this lead. And that's potentially if I have a bad race, it can help keep sneak me into the next round. So yeah, hopefully we can keep it up here and continue to do it. I know Greg's super fast, super consistent. If he can stay out of trouble, I know he's had the kind of the wrecking bug where he's getting caught up in almost anything possible. Especially here at Pocono, I think he was caught up in almost every wreck here. So feel bad for him because obviously I know he's super fast, should be up here running up front with us, but I guess we're getting the lucky side of that part. But yeah, hopefully we can continue to grow this points gap out. Coming into Pocono, one of my favorite tracks, probably not one of my best tracks, but it's one of my more favorites because I know it's about pace and skill versus track position, because you can really work your way through the field here with how different all these corners are. And that's what we did today. Didn't qualify the best, but moved up 7 spots to that P3 spot. So can't complain about a P3, but yeah, hopefully we can keep this momentum going. But lastly, we got to shout out sponsors and stuff. Shout out to Track Racer, High Velocity TV. Shout out to the Bean Team. Thank you to all you guys that do everything. Shout out to my teammates over at SimMotion. We just recently signed a new driver here. We saw him in the truck race last night with Peter Terrio. Super excited for him to come on here part-time and race here in the Cup Series when he gets the opportunity to. But lastly, I got to give a huge shout out to Leroy. Obviously couldn't make it tonight. He had some thunderstorms and was afraid he was going to lose power, so had to back out last second. But lastly, our team owner, John Ross, and kind of our league owner now. I know Fowler has kind of stepped down as a sole league owner. But yeah, have to give a huge shout out to John Ross, Ron Lowry, and all the admin team up there working their butt off trying to put this thing up here. Got to give a huge shout out to you, Aaron, for putting on the broadcast. We all appreciate what you do here, and it's always entertaining to go back and watch the broadcast. But yeah, lastly, got to give a huge shout out to the people over at twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13. Thank you guys for everything you do for me. whether it's for racing or for social media or for just being there and supporting me through this long journey of sim racing. But yeah, can't wait for next week, and hopefully we can carry this momentum into next week.
Absolutely, brother. Always looking forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack. Now, we do know Joe Hudson will not be in attendance next week, so one less heavy competitor to have to deal with, but maybe a little bit of a door open there to maybe see that 13 right up here in victory lane next week. But a great run, solid performance here for you in this one, and we can't wait to see you back out there next Wednesday.
Can't wait. Have a good rest of the day, Aaron.
Yes, you as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Mr. Christian Delgado as Christian comes home in position number 3. A great run and a great drive there for the 13 Machinists. He pulls himself up onto the podium here on the evening. Unfortunately, that will do it for us here on the evening. I see my boy Jeremy Vaughn in the chat having some fun here as well as we playing War Game after this? No, unfortunately, I'm not playing Call of Duty. I haven't played Call of Duty in like months. I want to say months. It's been like at least a month or better since I've played Call of Duty. But no, I unfortunately have to work in the morning, so I am going to head to bed and gonna be up early and go and do some more work. Spin the wheel. Yes, that is a good. Good, thank you for reminding me of that one. We do have our butt cracker random number winner here. Let me double check how many we had. We had 19 drivers start the race, but Leroy and Gary were loaded into the sim, so I guess we go with 21. So 21 drivers. Let's pull this down into the frame here for you so everyone can get a good look. So 21 drivers, so any number that this lands on, the corresponding position will win the Butt Crack Motorsports Extra Payday here this evening as and your new war game. I haven't played too much video games, unfortunately. I haven't played too much video games over the last couple weeks. Unfortunately, obviously when I was sick, I didn't really feel good to do anything, and then I've been working, doing some deck work and everything else. So I've been doing that, and just haven't been on video games too much. Haven't really done too much of any kind of video games, whether it's been MLB or anything else. It's been a little sad not playing as much, but we've been busy. We've had lots of racing action, which is good. We've had a lot of racing, a lot of different series. We saw the Hell Tour as well, the 3 days in Hell over last week, and then Monday as well, and a couple new series getting kicked off here. We're going to be racing every single night of the week here over the next little while, which is going to be absolutely amazing. But we're going to get into the Butt Crack Motorsports random giveaway here. So we're going to click this button a bunch of times to just kind of get a reset here. So we're just going to reset this bad boy. We're going to stop it probably right there. So we're going to stop it right there. This is not the winner. So the next time I hit the generate button will be our winner here of the Butt Crack Motorsports giveaway. Let's generate it. 21 is our winner. So looks like Gary Wright is our winner, the 21st position. Gary Wright. Now I'm not sure if they're going to accept that with Gary not racing or not, so we will do a backup one just in case. But the 21 is the winner of the Butt Crack Motorsports, but just in case if they don't want to include Gary or Leroy because they didn't start this race, we will do another random one, which would be 16. So it's either 21 or 16, whichever way they like it. But that is our Butt Crack Motorsports giveaway here this evening. Unfortunately, though, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for us in this one. As Jeremy says, I already forgot the name of it, laugh out loud, and I'm broke to buy it. Yeah, I feel it. Hey, listen, there's some good free games that I think are on the horizon here over the next little bit, so hopefully we can get some other new games in here as well. Hopefully we can get some of that action. As the game name Benjamin is, I think Jeremy is referring to. Let me double check here. I don't want to get it wrong. Let me see if I can close this down. The Ghost of Tsushima is the game that he was talking about. It's the Ghost of Tsushima, but You know, we're always playing Call of Duty, we're always playing iRacing, we're always doing lots of different cool things here on Peacemaker Gaming. But unfortunately, that is going to do it for us here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for tuning in. Absolutely amazing day here at the Speedway. A lot of fun, a lot of great action as Joycelyn coming in, showing the love as well over on the YouTube channel. I appreciate you tuning in as well. Joycelyn coming in, showing the love as well as showing the big love there. We're going to call it there on that note. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen. Much love, chat. Much love, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Rooks, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in